Weekly Spooky is brought to you by our generous supporters on Patreon. Get access to exclusive podcasts, videos, and more for as little as $1 a month when you go to WeeklySpooky.com and click on the Patreon link. Your support has gotten us to 100 episodes, so join up today and help us create another 100 and beyond. Head over to WeeklySpooky.com and join the Patreon.
What's that? You want to be scared? Come with me. You will experience tales of horror, ghosts, and death. It is not recommended for the weak at heart. Listen in the dark. It's more fun that way. This is Weekly Spooky.
Hello, my friends. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for a little spooky in your weekly. I'm your host and narrator, Henrik Kuto, and we have a nasty, nasty little ditty that takes us back to the land of Strickfield. But before we get to that, I just want to take a moment to say, please make sure you're subscribed to the program, because every single Wednesday we bring you some brand new fears for your ears. Some weeks a story may be truly terrifying. Another week it may be lighthearted and fun, but still quite spooky. You never know exactly what you're going to get, but you do know you'll get something scary to whet your appetite. And while you're subscribing on your favorite podcast app, why not leave us a little 5-star review? It would really help us out, means a lot, and it costs you nothing. So please do consider subscribing and leaving a little review, whether it's on Apple Podcasts or it's on Spotify, Stitcher, or anywhere you get your podcasts. And before we get to the story, it's a brand new month, and that means we have all kinds of new content going up on Patreon. If you haven't joined yet, please do consider it, because that is the one way to directly support the show every month for as little as $1. Just go to weeklyspooky.com, click on Patreon, and get all kinds of exclusive content, vlogs, behind-the-scenes videos, and so much more. We're at 83 backers right now. It would mean the world to me to see us hit 100 this year. So please, if you can, if you are able, help us keep bringing you the scares every Wednesday. But for now, my friends, we have a terrifying tale, which brings us back to the land of Strickfield, where something a little more dastardly than love is in the air. So let's listen right now. Mary's Revenge by Rob Fields. I must have looked pretty goddamn loaded when Mike Sanborn and Edgar Zanes approached me. I'm actually working on my 4th margarita when the two of them sit down across from me and start trying to work me over. And why wouldn't these Delta Omega Kappa fraternity boys be hitting on me? In addition to my appearing slightly buzzed, I'm also wearing revealing clothing that no girl should ever wear in a bar. I let those guys buy me a few more margaritas, so I drink with them and just talk about whatever stupid shit happens to come up. They pull out their smartphones and start snapping pics of me. I even pull down my top and let them snap a few of my huge titties. Yeah, it's no secret to me what they're looking for. And you know what the interesting part about this encounter is? I'm going to give them exactly what they want. The fraternity boys offered to take me back to their campus house just down the road at North Ridgeway University. I finish my margarita for a total of 6, and I let my studlies take a hand each. They walk me out of the bar into their car. I sit in the back seat and just enjoy the ride. They both have their windows cracked, so that helps keep me awake. We reach the campus and pull in. We stop right in front of the Delta Omega Kappa fraternity house, where Edgar cuts the engine. Mike helps me out of the back seat. I take in a deep breath, then start laughing like a drunken prom date. The two of them bring me into the frat house and take me upstairs. Once we're in one of the many bedrooms, the guys both start to show that they're true Neanderthals. Yeah, they're both ready to fight each other over me to see who's going to be the one to have me all nice and naked. But I quickly put a stop to the arguing by taking a hand from each of them. Nope, there's not going to be any fighting here. I'll fuck you both. I put their hands on my top to let them feel my surgically enhanced tits. To put it mildly, boys, it's either going to be both of you fucking me. Now I remove their hands from my tits. Or I can leave right now and you two can stay in here and jerk each other off. Of course, neither of the guys really want to share me in a threesome, but you know full well how the Neanderthal mind works. They'd rather score some pussy than not get anything at all, even if they have to be uncomfortably naked around each other to do it. Now that they've agreed to my terms, I let my studlies strip me naked. After I help them get undressed, we hop into bed and begin to have our threesome. For the record, I am not going to describe the threesome in great detail. I'm here to give you a first-hand experience at what I'm up to, not give you some masturbatory fantasy. Let's just say what I'm doing with these guys, you can easily find scenes like it, at your discretion, on all those free porn sites. And no, you will never find me on any of those said sites. Remember, I have a completely different motive for having this threesome, or any of the many sexual encounters that I've had. After we finish, the Neanderthals are so tired that they both fall asleep with me in between them. I easily slip out of bed and get dressed. Then I feel that heavy anticipation at what's about to come next. I open a closet door and find the full-length mirror there. I dig into my purse and pull out my lipstick that I used to write them a nice thank you note for rocking my world. Imagine what they'll both be thinking when they read, "Welcome to my world of AIDS." Know who I am yet? My birth name is Mary Ann Wright, but most people who know me call me Ann. I only go by Mary when it comes to what I've just done. If you're one of those people that likes to hang around Strickfield, mainly at the university, then you've probably heard of me. I'm the one that people call AIDS Mary. In case you don't already know the full story, let me bring you up to speed. But first, I need to crawl out a nearby window and climb down the drain pipe to escape from this frat house. And there. Now that I'm back on the ground and getting away from the fraternity house, I can shed some light on who I am and what I do. In a former life, I used to be madly in love with a guy named Raymond Burr. He was a fraternity boy with Delta Omega Kappa. Yes, we're talking about the Strickfield University branch now. I went to the house to pick up Raymond and surprise him for our first-year anniversary. I was so deeply in love with Raymond, and ready to commit to a deeper relationship like we talked about. I was even ready to have a baby with him and start a family. As it turned out, I came to the fraternity house at the absolute worst possible time. Raymond wasn't there because he was taking a makeup exam for one of his classes. His other fraternity brothers were there, however. Of all the things I would have to stumble upon, the other brothers were raping a high school girl they had picked up at Shaker's, a bar just outside of Strickfield village limits. I ran away to try and get help, but they'd spotted me. I wasn't a very fast runner, and those drunken Neanderthals caught me easily. They dragged me back to the house and raped me within an inch of my life. I lived, but I was forever changed. I carry a lot with me now. 1, I have nothing but the utmost hatred for men. 2, I have the AIDS virus. Turned out, one or more of those DOK fuckers had AIDS when we were both raped. I had also become pregnant. Now, here's the aftermath of that story. After getting tested, I immediately had an abortion. One, because I didn't want to bring a baby into the world with my disease as a curse. It wasn't fair to my unborn child. And two, I certainly did not want to have a rape baby to take care of for the rest of my life. As it turned out, the other girl, whose name was also Mary, decided to destroy the Delta Omega Kappa fraternity for what they had done to her. I wasn't to the point yet where I wanted to kill them, but the more I thought about what had happened to us, the more my rage just brewed and brewed until it finally just made me snap. Mary Richter got her revenge on everybody in the fraternity, except Raymond. Again, Raymond wasn't there that night. He also didn't condone what those bastards had done once he had learned about it, but he was a part of that fraternity. Also, do you really think that Raymond would have stayed with me upon learning that I had AIDS? Fuck no. My rage was so hot that I just decided to destroy him. So I let him make love to me, to make him my first victim. Do you think I was cruel? You better fucking believe it. Ah, but Raymond, you even helped me figure out that the AIDS virus in my body had actually mutated into a completely new strain, a 2.0 variant, if you will. See, Raymond actually died 5 days after I infected him. Yeah, that's where the mutated strain comes in. I got myself tested at a lab far away from Strickfield. The lab reports were right. I am the only one that I know of who has this completely new strain of the virus in my body. The doctor told me I'd probably die any day now. But here's the kicker. I've never once felt sick. Turns out, I'm completely asymptomatic to my own virus. What happened to Raymond? What happened to my past victims? What's going to happen to the 2 guys I just fucked? You ever watch The Walking Dead? I'm talking about the zombies that are in really advanced stages of decay. The ones where you can see their bones from head to toe. Day 1, you're probably still going to feel fine. Day 2, you'll start getting sick. Probably just bad sinuses, maybe a cough or a sore throat. Day 3, you're going to feel like you've got the flu times 20. Plus, you're going to start looking like handmade shit. Day 4, the hospital staff will be frying eggs off you in the ICU. You'll likely have no immune system now, which means every other disease that can infect you will. You'll also look like you haven't eaten in several days. Day 5, you're finally going to depart this world, whether you want to or not. Also, you're going to look like one of those zombies I just talked about. What's more, there's absolutely no treatment available whatsoever for my AIDS strain. You meet me, you fuck me, you're as good as dead. The only protection you might have for my strain is a condom, but I will never let you wear one. I make it back to my apartment that I'm squatting in. I take off my clothes and wig before I get into the shower and clean up. Yes, I definitely learned a great deal from my predecessor when it came to becoming different girls in order to score Delta Omega Kappa guys. Or, for that matter, any unlucky male who happens to cross me. Now, I know what you're likely to ask me next. Why am I going after a brother fraternity at a different college campus? I'll tell you that too. After I finish my shower, I dry myself off and sit at my kitchen table. I look at all of the newspaper articles and police records that I've compiled. If you think that what those fucking bastards at the Strickfield University branch did was appalling, You should see what I've learned about their brother house at North Ridgeway. All I had to do was read about a girl who reported that she had been raped by fraternity boys from Delta Omega Kappa to get me to want to look into them more. Thanks to certain female police informants, I was able to snag copies of the reports on the bastards here at North Ridgeway. Many of them had reports filed against them for rape, but they've never stuck. See, this particular fraternity has a lot of trust fund babies. They only need to call their families high-priced lawyers, and the rape reports seemingly never happened. Don't you just love our fucked-up legal system? I'd seen enough and knew who to target. I've already fucked and killed half of the North Ridgeway fraternity. I won't stop until I have all of them. Then, from there, I'll keep targeting fraternities such as this. I'll even keep targeting horny pieces of shit Neanderthals by continuing to be the tempting little honeypot these guys just can't go without. 5 days later, maybe less, they'll all end up dying most horribly. Like I told Raymond after I infected him. What I once did for him out of love, I now do to others in revenge. I wait about a week before I show up at a different bar. I'm wearing highly revealing clothing and another wig. I happen to know that Peter Stimrick frequents this bar, which is called Chaps. He doesn't even seem to give a shit that some of his fraternity brothers ended up being lipstick on the mirrors, or that they were found all shriveled up and dead. Seriously, what has this fucking world turned into? Anyway, Stimrick is bragging about all the points he scored during his last basketball game. He's bragging further about how he's the talk of the NCAA and that he's going to be a first-round pick for the NBA draft. Yeah, he doesn't give a shit about his dead brothers. He's all about me, me, me. Well, tonight, I'm going to make it about me, me, me. Stimrick finally sees me. He calls the bartender over and orders me another drink. When I get the fresh margarita, I give him a seductive look to invite him over. He leaves his bros behind and comes for the hoe. And here I had always thought many of these frat jocks were all about bros before hoes. Stimrick sits down across from me and watches me drink my margarita. He's definitely stealing peeks at my robust cleavage. I definitely had to treat myself to a boob job in order to both help hide my true identity and appeal to as many little heads as I could. So far, I'm at a perfect score with these tits. As far as people know, Mary Ann Wright is practically flat-chested. But I'm AIDS Mary, and I'm the fuck of the century that you'll die for. Stimrick probably feels he's got me shit-faced enough to where he can take me back with him for a hot night of erotica. Want to hear a secret? I drink virgin margaritas, which also work in getting me potential guys to come and hit on me. The ones my Studleys buy for me are regular margaritas, of course. I'm good for about 2 or 3 of those before I start getting buzzed. Getting back to Stimrick, he takes me to a hotel, not the frat house. I do know he's a Delta Omega Kappa brother because I've seen his name on the charter, and I've seen him come and go from the house enough times. Anyway, he actually pays for a fucking suite, not a room. A fucking suite. I know flashy hotel rooms can be expensive per night, but a suite is easily $300 plus at this particular hotel. See what I mean when I said there are trust fund babies in the North Ridgeway frat? We go up to the suite and go in. Wow. I've never been in a luxury hotel suite, but the luxuries that are in here, I could definitely die in this suite. If my AIDS strain were to suddenly turn on me and kill me right now, I could definitely die in this suite. But that's not likely to happen. Someone else, however, is going to die in this suite very shortly. He just doesn't know it yet. Stimrick is just looking me over now. He can't keep his eyes off my really tight dress, especially at how well it shows off my luscious curves and my enhanced globes. But I really get his attention when I sit on the bed and spread my legs for him. He sees the goods and can't wait to have them. He even takes a pic of me on his smartphone, probably for his spank bank. I let him approach me and undress me. Then I act like every other porn girl and give him exactly what he's expecting. He's so eager to go into me that I just lay back and spread my legs. He gets on top of me and he's just committed suicide. The two of us have an incredible night of hot, erotic fucking. I'm really turned on at knowing that I've just taken my revenge against one more member of both the male population and against Delta Omega Kappa. We go incredibly porno on each other until he's spent and falls asleep. It doesn't take me long to find a mirror he'll easily be able to see. Then he'll realize he's just become my latest lipstick on the mirror when he reads, "Welcome to my world of AIDS." I get dressed and slip out of the suite. Good thing I saw where the cameras were and was able to keep them from scanning my face. Even if they did get me, they'll never get a match on me. My makeup and disguises are too good. I finally make my way out of the side doors and head back to my squatting apartment. On a side note, I actually stole the soaps and shower stuff out of the bathroom before I left. I just have to know what the expensive hotel suite stuff is like, right? It's another week later. Stimrick died after 5 days, of course. I made sure I kept an eye on that. I managed to get a look at his corpse. He looked so much worse than the rest of his other fraternity brothers. I've only got a few more of the Delta Omega Kappa brothers at this branch to go. I managed to get 2 more over the weekend at separate locations. Now, I'm all set to nail the last 2. If this fucking college knows what's good for them, they'll close down this fraternity and never let it start up again. I'm surprised they haven't just disbanded it already. But what's really funny is that word quickly got around campus that there are plenty of openings at Delta Omega Kappa if guys want to pledge. Well, go ahead and pledge. Once you become fully initiated, then you're as good as dead. I shake my head quickly. Get your shit together, Mary. Keep to your mission here. You're going to go after those last 2 Delta boys. You're too determined to let anyone or anything stop you. This time, I really outdo myself with my makeup. I don't wear a wig this time. All I have to do is dye my hair and add streaks. I mean, I make myself the sexiest I've ever looked in my entire life. The porn industry would be all too eager to sign me if they saw me. I look in the mirror and admire my naked body. I really love my handiwork. And then, a small part of me is sad. Because there is still that part of me that would very much like to know true love one day. That can never happen for me, however. Not as long as I have this permanent passenger that's made its home inside my beautiful body. It's the knowing of this that makes my hatred for men burn that much hotter. There are no good men in this world, I hiss to my reflection. I have to destroy as many of them as I can. Then I punch the mirror, one fist right after another. Men are a malignancy. Then I look at my bloody fists and take deep breaths. They must be destroyed. Every last fucking goddamn one of them. Men have no right to even be alive. I look down at my knuckles. I'm not bleeding that badly. I clean up and stop the bleeding, then I touch myself up and put on my sluttiest clothes yet. When I finish, I know it's time to go out and claim the last 2 bastards and shut down the North Ridgeway branch of the Delta Omega Kappa fraternity. For good. I leave the apartment in anticipation of what I'm about to do. I never even feel the person who comes up behind me. and locks me in some kind of chokehold. I can't free myself. My attacker is much too strong. Is this how it ends for me, after months of destroying all the men that I've destroyed? And then I succumb to my attacker. I wake up and find I'm secured to a table. My dress is still on, but my ultra-high-heeled shoes have been removed. I raise my head to look around. I want to see the man who plans. Oh, it's actually two guys. The ones who I was going after. "Yeah, bitch, we know exactly who you are," Brett Ashton says to me. "Yeah, we know you're AIDS Mary," Phil Stimrick adds. He points an accusing finger at me. "You killed everybody in our fraternity, you fucking bitch, including my brother." Caught by these two fuckers? My rage makes me struggle and fight to try and break the ropes that have me secured. Phil sneers at me. "Go ahead and struggle, Mary. You'll never break free of those ropes. You belong to us now." "How do you know it was even me?" I demand. Brett shows me some pics on his smartphone. They're pics of me from bars that I've frequented. Guess I hadn't counted on these frat boys taking pics of me and sending them to their brothers. Stimrick's brother even managed to send the one of me spread eagle in the luxury hotel suite. "This is definitely you. Same face and same huge tits." He puts the phone away. "I don't know how you fucking made our brothers look like fucking prunes, but you're going to tell us before we beat the living shit out of you." Yeah, he's definitely at a loss on how I made them that way. Then I start to laugh my fucking ass off. The guys are getting real pissed now. I finally collect myself and look right at them. All I did was fuck them. Phil lashes out and punches me in the face. Then he grabs me by the shoulder straps of my body-fitting dress. "You fucking tell us how you killed them. I swear to fucking Christ, I'll fucking kill you myself." Then he lets go of me and reaches inside his jacket and removes a syringe with a chalky-colored liquid in it. "I made this shit in chemistry class. All I have to do is inject you with it, and you're dead. This shit's even worse than the chemicals used in prisons when they do lethal injection. It'll take a fucking serial killer like you down for good." I start laughing again. I had never even imagined that I was a serial killer. When you stop and think about it, I guess I really am one, ain't I? I planned every murder I was going to do against each and every man that I fucked and transferred my disease to. I look at the guys. "You do whatever the fuck you want, assholes, because I'll tell you right now, I don't have the slightest bit of fucking remorse for what I've done. Men, like you bastards, infected me with AIDS, so it's only fair that I destroy as many of you as possible." Brett grabs me this time. "You fucking tell us how you killed them. We ain't fucking stupid. There's no way you could have killed them with AIDS that quickly." I give them my biggest smile. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I laugh again. "You do know that viruses mutate, right? Or did you imbeciles fall asleep during that part of your science classes back in grade school?" Phil punches me in the face again. I laugh with even more glee. "You want to kill me? Go right ahead. I have no remorse for what I've done. I'm not going to say I'm sorry. I will never say I'm sorry." I look them over again. Fucking men like you gave me AIDS. Fucking men like you made sure that I can never know what it means to have a normal life. I can't even get any kind of treatment for the strain I carry. So what better way to spend my last days on Earth than to destroy those responsible for destroying me? Men deserve to die. You fucking deserve to die. All of you who are in your fraternity are all fucking rapists. Now I'm pissed. Unless your high-priced lawyers say otherwise, right? Phil picks up the syringe again. "I mean it, bitch. I'll shoot you up with this shit. I will." "So fucking do it then," I fire back. "One more time. I will never apologize for killing a single one of you bastards. You're all men. All you ever fucking think about is sex. You don't care how you get it. You'll blackmail us for it. Someday, you'll both cheat on your fat-ass wives for it. You'll even rape us for it. Time and again, for men, it's all about sex, sex, sex. Men are nothing but a disease that needs to be sent into extinction. I look Phil Stimrick right in the eyes. I regret nothing, and I will fucking kill the both of you. You're both men. You're both rapists. Neither of you deserves to live. Your fucking brother sure didn't. Rick screams and injects me with the syringe. The liquid suddenly burns really hot to the point where I lose my shit and start screaming. After what seems like several minutes, the burning stops, and I'm already starting to feel very tired. I think I can actually see that light that everyone mentions when they're about to die. The only difference here is that if this is God coming for me, then I intend to have my say with him. No. Oh, fuck no. Fuck you. You are not taking me. Seriously, get the fuck out of here. You lost your right to my fucking soul when you allowed me and other girls to be raped by men, and I disavow you. I fucking hate you. And then, the light disappears. I don't know if it's because I told God to go get fucked, or if my own light is truly going out. I find I can't move now. All I can do is look up at the ceiling. And then my own dark soul finally comes to its end. I don't know how long I've slept, but it's very dark when I open my eyes. I can't see anything all around me except darkness. However, I can smell the dank, stinky earth around me, and know I'm in a coffin. I am beyond fucking pissed right now. I turn onto my ample chest and start pushing my back against the top half of the coffin. I continue to feel the burning of my rage growing hotter and hotter inside me. I won't let God take me, I yell. I won't fucking die in here. I scream at the top of my lungs and push with all the rage-enhanced strength I could muster. Yes! I hear the loud crack and know I've broken the lock on my coffin. I keep pushing more and more, pushing the rotten soil away. Then I finally have the top of the coffin open enough where I can escape. I come right out of my grave and into a very dark and stormy night. I scream in triumph and laugh at God one more time. You will never take me, you motherfucker! I scream at the sky. I pull myself to stand on the wet grass. Well, what do you know? I was buried in Mom's wedding dress. I quickly undo the top of the dress and expose my upper body. No marks. I wasn't even embalmed. But that syringe didn't fucking kill me. I didn't die, did I? Somehow I fucking lived. I think somehow I just refused to die. But I fucking know you both now, Brett Ashton and Phil Stimrick, don't I? I resituate my dress and laugh. You motherfuckers really thought you could completely extinguish my life. You really thought you were going to be the big heroes and avenge your brothers. Not even close. But I wonder, did I just literally defy God for a second time, and he damned me here on Earth as punishment for my defiance? No, I truly believe it's this mutated strain of AIDS in my body. Hell, maybe it's both. I bend down and recover my grave. Can't have it looking like the corpse actually got out of the coffin and went for a walk, right? After I finish making the grave look perfect again, I take a close look at it. Mom and Dad definitely did right by me. They bought me a really nice tombstone. Probably even a really nice coffin. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I whisper in their honor. You did everything you possibly could for me. But Mary Ann Wright is dead to the world now. Even to you. All I have is my disease and my rage. I will continue my revenge against all men. The lightning cracks and the thunder booms. The rain pours even harder now. I don't even feel how cold the rain is. Just the same, I turn away from my grave and start walking toward whatever new place I'll find to squat at. I'll be back to destroying men soon enough. In fact, just thinking about what I'm going to do to Brett Ashton and Phil Stimrick is making me so wet. I will never die. Not until the last man is finally destroyed. This is my promise. This is my curse. Now and forever, I am AIDS Mary. Well, my friends, it looks like AIDS Mary may have taken a more devious supernatural turn than we all expected. And I'm glad we could take ourselves another trip over to Strickfield. For those who aren't aware, Strickfield is the universe inside of Weekly Spooky. Any story written by Rob Fields takes place in the Strickfield universe, where if you happen to have listened to every episode, you just might get a little something extra out of it. So, thank you so much, Rob, for the great story, and thank you all so much for tuning in this week. As you can tell, my voice is pretty much back to normal. I'm very happy to be completely over the whole COVID thing. So, I'm doing very well, by the way. Thanks for asking. And remember, if you want to support the program directly, go to WeeklySpooky.com and click on Patreon. Patreon is the way to support us every single month for as little as $1. It really helps the show happen again and again. And thank you so much to all the folks who are already supporting us. There are 83 of you and growing. And speaking of which, I want to take a moment to thank our Patreon podcast boosters. These are folks who paid just a little extra to hear their names on the show. That is Christopher Sullivan, Kathy Proke, Gino Lyons, Karen Weemet, Jack Kerr, Jeff and George Hilton, Craig Cohen, and Kevin Fry. Thank you all so much for making sure I can always bring you the spooky on the weekly. And before I get out of here, I also want to mention, if you're looking for something fun to watch that is completely free, I host a movie program on Tubi TV. If you're familiar, it's an app you can watch on Roku, completely free. I host 8 films under the name Popcorn Fodder. So go to Tubi TV on your favorite app or on the webpage, tubitv.com, punch in Popcorn Fodder, and hang out with me and my rescue dogs and watch a couple of scary movies totally free. But anyway, my friends, I've got to get out of here for now. So for myself, for my executive producer, Rob Fields, my producer, Dan Wilder, and my composer, Ray Mattis, I will talk at you next time.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to find your way back next week. But for now, you are safe. Trust me.